Message from the dark side there is.
Hey everyone, I know you love the art of adventure because travel and location independence are important to you. So I've teamed up with 7 of the world's top travel podcasters to inspire you to wander. In case you're thinking about listening to another podcast after this one, we've all put together short 2-minute trailers of our podcast so you can listen and decide which one you want to check out and subscribe. This is Derek Loudermilk, and I host the Art of Adventure podcast. Adventure is a term that we really get into, whether it's the adventure of starting a business or traveling the world or exploring your dreams or psychedelic drugs or human performance. Adventure is such a broad topic, and it's a very personal one because it's part of this journey that we all go on to find out who we are. So have a listen to The Art of Adventure if you want to see where the edge of your comfort zone is and learn from other people who have pushed beyond their comfort zone. One of my favorite episodes of my own show, The Art of Adventure, is the episode I recorded with Chris McDougall. He wrote Born to Run, and in the episode, I'm a former runner, so we got really nerdy about the physiology and evolution of humans and what led us to be such amazing runners. And he told me some things that he's never told anyone before. And I felt just like I was talking to someone that I had known all my life, even though it was the first time I met him. So that episode is all about running and travel and native tribes and human evolution. It's very broad and diverse. I think you'll really dig how intricate that episode gets. One important thing I've noticed as I move from country to country, I generally travel slowly, and it's very important so that you don't get lonely to quickly build your network and your community of friends when you arrive in a new city or country. So I really place a priority on strategic relationships and meeting as many people as I can in the first couple weeks in a place. That's what I did here in Croatia, where we've been for a month, and now we're having a big party this weekend, and it's going to be great. We're going to be doing chalk art on our patio, and we'll be in the position where we can be the people introducing some of our friends to some of our other friends. Okay, I'm supposed to record a favorite joke. I'm just going to make one up about digital nomads. 8 digital nomads walk into a bar. That's how many podcasters we're talking about here. 8 digital nomads walk into a bar, and they walk out with 1,000 ideas. They walk out and they've all Instagrammed 5 times. 8 digital nomads walk into a bar and start 8 businesses before they leave. I don't know. I'm just making it up here. Hope you'll check out The Art of Adventure. Who knows? It might be the doorway to the most epic phase of your life that's about to begin. You have to listen.
So Patrick, how would you describe our show, Six Packs Flex Packs?
Our show is 2 friends drinking beers and talking about stuff. Woo! Nah, really, that's it. Yeah. We're 2 best friends. Carl and I have both been in Taiwan for 7 years, but we've traveled to over 40 countries. So we're here giving you all the inside tips, scoops, ins and outs, didgeries and the do's about any place that you want to go to or could be interested in going to ever.
Absolutely. And it's very important, as you know, to not drink and drive. I don't know why I said that. We can just cut that one out.
Obviously, don't drink and drive, but still.
So what's your favorite episode we've done so far?
Man, that's funny. My favorite episode has been the one where we talked about where we would go to for the impending zombie apocalypse. We all know that zombies are real and one day it's going to happen. So where would you run off to? Carl said China. I disagreed. I said New Zealand because whatever. You listen to the podcast, you can find out. So Carl, what's one important travel tip that you want to share with the people who are listening right now?
So when you travel, when you go anywhere for the first time, make sure you go into a bar and you sit at the bar and you interact with the bartender.
Definitely.
They're some of the most well-informed, entertaining, and interesting people that I've ever met in life, period. So make sure you do that.
More entertaining than me?
Make sure you do that. Absolutely.
Loki hurt my feelings a little bit. All right. So one thing that we would be remiss if we didn't mention is that all the traveling that we're doing this year is for 2 very important causes. It's for the Lupus Foundation of America and for the B Foundation for Brain Aneurysm Awareness. Again, we completely encourage you all, if you're thinking of traveling, make sure that you travel with a purpose, travel for a cause, and make sure that you're paying it forward as you do. To find out more about why we're traveling and the reasons and all this other information, visit our website, cptravels.com.
Yeah. So again, guys, make sure you check out Six Packs with Expats. We're featuring new beers every week and new locations coming soon over the summer. So again, I am Carl.
I'm Patrick.
And we are CP Travels.
Hey everyone, this is Johnny FD, and if you've ever imagined or wished you can travel forever, or just be able to do the really epic, cool trips that you thought you couldn't really afford, or even to be able to stay in a nice hotel once in a while to take a break, or just chill out and not have to go back to work to save up to continue, well, the Travel Like a Boss podcast is for you. Every single week, we introduce a different location-independent entrepreneur and hear their stories about how they make enough money while working online to be able to travel like a boss. So the most popular episodes of Travel Like a Boss are probably the ones with big name guests like Dave Asprey, the Bulletproof Executive. But my personal favorite episodes, the ones that people get the most out of, are things like episode 10, which is entitled Dropship Genius, the Man Who Made Me Rich. And that is an interview with my mentor, the guy who taught me how to make money online and brought me from having just a couple $100s in my bank account to now having over $500,000 that I've made while traveling the world full time for this last 4 years. So if you want to listen to more interviews with people like Anton, check out any of the money mindset episodes on Travel Like a Boss. Probably the biggest tip or reoccurring theme is that everyone thinks that their job or their situation is unique and it's going to be harder for them to become location dependent, be able to work online, whether it's a lack of skills or their job just requires them to be physically present. Well, now we've had on over 150 guests who all do different types of businesses or services completely location dependently. The funniest thing about the Travel Like a Boss podcast is whenever I meet someone interesting while traveling, I pull out a microphone and just start recording and I ask them, hey, do you want to come on the show? No notes, no script. They've never heard a previous episode, and all of a sudden they're divulging their life secrets live, and they have no idea that 50,000 people are going to listen to their interview. So if you're interested in the digital nomad lifestyle or living the 4-hour work week, find and subscribe to Travel Like a Boss podcast or visit travellikeabosspodcast.com.
Alles klar, Kinder?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Geht das nicht lauter?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Wer kommt zu dir, wenn du am Boden bist?
Hey, Idiot! Beheb dich auf und schick dir ins Gesicht! Hey, Idiot!
It's Sunday Shanderbeen from Expat Happy Hour. I'm a solution-oriented coach and intercultural strategist for individuals and organizations. And I am on a mission to help you adapt and succeed when living abroad and get you through any life transition. I'd love you to join me on Expat Happy Hour and listen in on this heartfelt and sometimes funny podcast that really focuses on the realities of expat life. And I offer you smart and simple solutions so that you can quickly and painlessly adapt, be successful, and stay connected with those that mean the most. The most popular episode I've seen on Expat Happy Hour so far is called Chatting with My Third Culture Kids. And it shot to #1 on Places and Travel on iTunes the week that I released it because people who have children abroad love hearing the wisdom from children themselves about the realities of expat life. So one thing I'd like to offer you today, a tip for you to be happy and successful abroad, is that your success and happiness is dependent on your strategies. So be mindful about how you spend your time and energy. Expat Happy Hour is the go-to podcast for anyone who lives abroad because it digs into the challenges of life abroad and addresses them head on with tried and true, simple and effective solutions. So don't forget, my most important tip is that your success and happiness abroad are dependent on your strategies. So be mindful about how you spend your time and energy.
Ring the ding ding the bo bo ring. Ring the ding ding the bo bo ring. Bo bo ring bo ring bo ring ding ding. Ring the ding bo ring. Bo 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 ring. Ring ding 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 bo bo ring.
Hi, this is Ty Roxon, and I'm the host of a podcast called As Told by Nomads. As Told by Nomads is based on an experiment that I initially started in 2014. I wanted to figure out why we live in such a global and digital world, yet not too many people act global digital. And so I brought together some of the best global minds to discuss concepts such as entrepreneurship, what it's like to be a third culture kid, cultural diversity, personal branding, and how to build culturally competent organizations. What is my favorite podcast episode? What's the most popular? This is kind of tough for me because it's like picking your kids. But I will say that the most popular episode so far has been episode 153 with Ben Nemtin. And he hosted a show on MTV that used to be called The Buried Life. And I think a lot of the listeners gravitate towards that because it talked about the fact that anyone could achieve their dreams if they put their minds to it. Another favorite is episode 243 with Tom Bilyeu, where he talks about the growth mindset. And another one is episode 250 with Omar and Yolanda Osagede. And those are two amazing travelers who met and fell in love and are continuing to educate the world about the beautiful diversity of this place that we call Earth. The most important tip that I want to share is that you should work on your personal brand. I believe that there are two important skills that we all need to develop in the 21st century. And that is building your cultural competency and improving your personal brand. You do these two things, you're able to stand out in an increasingly competitive world. The world is increasingly diverse and it's multicultural. If you don't know how to stand out, you stand at a position where you are just one of many. So why not embrace your uniqueness, celebrate that, leverage that, and use that to help as many people as you can. So build your personal brand, invest in it, and then build your cultural competency. So there you have it. I really think that this is one of the podcasts that you should listen to if you want to build your cultural competency, explore your curiosity about the world, and also become a better global leader.
Hello, everyone, and this is Ladin from the Travel Wisdom Podcast. Now, the point of this podcast is that traveling can be more than a vacation, but a learning experience. That traveling can be an investment into your future. If you want to not only travel for travel's sake, but also want to get something out of it, grow as a person because of it, this is the perfect show to listen to. Now, I've traveled to almost 100 countries, so I hope it's an investment. And also, I've found that language learning is very important. So now I've speak 6 languages and am able to communicate with a much wider variety of people and learn a lot more. Now, during the course of this podcast, I've had some crazy times. I was doing my master's in Germany, then went to go study in India, got deported from Germany later on and sent to Siberia, and am now looking for a PhD in brain implants. Now, so you can see that it's quite an adventurous lifestyle, and you can be part of this as well. You can be listening and maybe even having some input in the show as well. I absolutely love this. Now, my favorite shows, or the most popular shows, are my language learning shows. As I said, I speak 6 languages. I consider myself to be part of the polyglot community, which is people who speak many languages. And so we share tips on how to learn languages effectively, quickly, and in the least painful way, I guess. And this is huge, I think. Once you can do this, once you are able to learn a skill as big as learning a whole language, you realize that everything else is equally possible. And that's amazing. So the most important tip I want to share is that really things happen very slowly. It's bit by bit, drop by drop. And before you know it, though, things are going to pile up and you're going to be really, really good. So it's really during these slow improvements, the 1% per day kind of thing, that you really, really grow as a person. And that's the goal of this, is to grow as a person. So if you've liked what I talked about, then please check out the Travel Wisdom Podcast and let's grow together.